And like with the last little thing that we touched on recovery, sleep. King of recovery for me anyway, or queen, wherever way I want to put it. But for you, like you post about sleep a lot. Like how important is sleep to you in recovery?
Yeah, and funny enough, like I actually had another coach say to me, like Joe, I post, I have a Whoop band. I don't know if you do follow me, so I post like my sleep performance, and like admittedly, it's not good enough, and it's a type of thing again. This is why coaches need coaches, because someone like I need someone to tell me, Stephen, go to bed, like Joe, like just go to bed, like put the phone away and go to bed, but I suppose sleep is just like if I was to recommend anything, just go and read the Matthew Walker book, Why We Sleep. And I read that maybe last year, and to be honest, it kind of changed my life. Not even gonna lie, because I suppose just the small things, and not to get too deep into it, but we always like I have loads of people that be like, oh, I function well on little sleep, which is fair enough.
Ah,
I don't have too much of a problem with something like that, but we talk about sleep as if it's something like it's a currency that we can get back. But Matthew Walker, kind of like the sleep guy, he talks a lot about how like sleep isn't something that can be traded. It's not something that we can miss out on here and catch up on here. It's not like our protein or our calories. It's not something we can make up for. If you lose sleep, like you are unrested, like, and that's not something you can catch up on. You can sleep and do more sleep, but it's not something that you can technically get back. And I think it's really important that we don't maybe take it for granted. And I think definitely maybe in the last year it's improved because we've all had a little bit more time in our hands. But it's definitely something that I'm always ranting on about it, because we spend so much money on like these recovery utilities, but we're not going to bed on time, which is just a cart before the horse, and that's where I would come from anyway.
definitely. Like just for people, like if they want to be a bit educated, like we do produce the human growth hormone when we go into a deep sleep. Like it's produced by the pituitary gland in our brain. Like that is for growth and repair of tissues, like in muscles. Like so, it's a huge thing to get enough sleep and get into a deep sleep. And you're not going to get into a deep sleep if you're only getting maybe 3 or 4 hours. Like, you
Yeah,
know.
and like on that, like the like even just I suppose I gave a presentation there lately to a group of footballers, like, and like I was kind of putting it to them, like it's like for me a lot of it is cognition, and obviously growth hormone and stuff like that is so important for like optimal performance. But you know what, like our brain is very powerful, and our brain is like probably more important, like in my mind sometimes, than the actual like growth and repair of tissue, because Joe, it's our brain that makes our decisions. Like
Yeah.
it's our brain that decides to eat McDonald's as opposed to steak and chips. Like, and I suppose the idea would be, have you ever woke up after 2 hours sleep and felt ready for a maths exam? Like, or have you ever woke up after 3 hours sleep and been in a good mood? Because do you know what? Like when you don't sleep, like your cognition is impaired and you can't make good decisions. And if you can't make good decisions, the likelihood is you're not going to eat well, you're not going to train well, and you're not going to recover well subsequently after that.
Yeah, I just like to kind of flip it on its head, like sleep deprivation. Like from your experience, so you've posted times that you've got optimal recovery from sleep, then you posted times I've seen you've got little to none. Could you compare those 2 days for me? What's the day that like are you hitting the day you get to optimal recovery, and like what's the difference like?
Do you know what? I suppose the way I would see it anyway is, and someone asked me this yesterday about my roof, because they'd be like, do you oblige by, when it tells you you've had poor sleep, do you oblige by that and not train? And I'm someone that I feel maybe it's a placebo effect, but I am someone that like when someone I've been told some positive like reinforcement, I've been reinforced positive, you've had a good night's sleep, I'm bouncing around the place, like, because it's, even if it means nothing, I'm bouncing around the place. And again, back to the self-limiting beliefs, like maybe I should just have someone like fake these results and tell me every day, because then I'd be bouncing out of bed. But yeah, look, I suppose the way I would like to answer that question, definitely, like there's days like when I wake up and I might have like 30% of recovery, I'm like dragging my heels and I'm walking around and everything is the worst and sure everything is harder. But and then the days you get good sleep, you feel like $1 million. And I suppose, like, imagine if you were to just have that $1 million feeling every day, imagine how good of a player you'd be.